day 3 here at the 43rd General Assembly for TISL. We have a lot scheduled for the day, from debating different legislation to voting for next year's leaders. But let's get the day started with Chris Davis, who is going to bring us a story on MC3 Competition and Legislative Plaza.
Thanks, Lindsay. After a day and a half of great competition, only 8 teams remain in the AMC3 Challenge. Today marks the first day of the semi-final round for AMC3, and only 2 teams will make it to the prestigious final round. So it's all or nothing for those remaining teams. This morning at 9 o'clock began the semi-final rounds for the AMC3 competition. The 8 remaining teams will be competing throughout the day for a spot in the final round. The case this year features a young boy named Rudy Johnson, who is being forced by his parents to be a kidney donor for his older brother, Chad Johnson. The court decision will decide whether the Justice Department will mandate Rudy to donate his kidney. Devontae Rudd explains the complexity of the case.
You cannot just give your opinion, you just gotta say what the law says about the case and the reference cases that we had to reference on.
Bryan College finalist Sam Gilbertson expands on this.
Well, it's a difficult case because on one hand you've got the emotional appeal that the parents should be able to force their child to save the life of another child, but the constitutional issue at hand is that would be a violation of the privacy rights of the child having to donate his liver to save the life of another.
Merely obtaining a spot within the semifinal round is an achievement within itself for these AM3C debaters. They've put in long hours of preparation work and have worked hard these last few days to remain in the competition.
You know, it feels good. We put in a lot of work to prepare for this, long hours, and so it feels good to be here and to get our reward for the work we put in.
And semifinals is the reward that was afforded to him through the hard work that he, like so many others in this competition, have exerted to get where they are today. Now the top 2 teams from today's semifinal round will go on to compete tomorrow in the final round held at the Tennessee Supreme Court building. Reporting from Legislative Plaza, for TISL News, I'm Chris Davis.
Thanks, Chris. We'll see you in the final round. We're going to head over now to Katie Myers to talk about 2 bills discussed in the House of Representatives.
Thanks, Lindsay. The controversy continued this morning when several pieces of legislation were presented to the House, causing debate between some of the representatives. The House of Representatives jumped right into their first session with discussion over several pieces of legislation, Bills 54 and 182 in particular. Bill 182 is in regards to financial aid for college students.
Basically, this bill was to make it so that if your parents have to fill out other or, they make too much on the FAFSA, that the child is not totally disqualified from getting scholarship money.
An amendment to oppose the bill was presented, but after a lengthy discussion, the House voted in opposition of the amendment and in favor of the bill.
In one of my sections, people felt like if people have to leave, due to extenuating circumstances, so a death in their family, they can't cope, with school for a while. And I can understand that, so there was an amendment on that section, which I can agree with.
When the House adjourned for the morning, Bill 54 was the topic of discussion.
It's to help fathers have an input, not just the mother. They conceive the child together, and so it shouldn't be just the mother's decision to decide if this child exists or not. And also, he needs to be informed. It's not a divided decision, it's a united decision.
Many were opposed for several reasons.
If you're a single woman, then no, nobody can tell you about your body. Nobody can tell you what to do about your body. But you're married, and that's a different thing, and we're trying to strengthen marriages.
The debate is really just getting started for this issue, and the discussion will continue when the House reconvenes later. Dorinda Miles is extremely passionate about her legislation and says she truly believes the bill will pass. For TISL News, I'm Katie Myers. Lindsay, back to you.
Thank you, Katie. Now, same-sex marriage has been a very controversial topic at this year's TISL. Alex Thomason brings us a story from the Senate about information on Bill 82.
Thanks, Lindsay. I'm outside the Senate gallery where TISL members are attempting to pass bills into laws. A notable bill that was already discussed this morning was TISL Bill 82. If passed, this bill would allow same-sex marriage in the state of Tennessee. Nick Mastrom from the University of Memphis was the speaker representative for TISL Bill 82.
It doesn't affect the sanctity of marriage. It actually strengthens it. Churches are now able to adhere to their own doctrines of orthodoxy and really be able to find those fundamental agreements with people that they want to personally marry. However, the state is still going to be able to collect taxes. Small businesses are going to locate here like they have in Vermont and other places where there's either gay marriage or civil unions. We've seen this last election. I think it's 3 or 4 states now have recognized it. We're seeing a trend.
After a period of debate, the Senate vote tied 13-13, and Lieutenant Governor Michael Sloan had the final say. He decided to pass the bill. I'm Alex Thomason with TISL News. Back to you, Lindsay.
With such a busy schedule, TISL News will have more updates for you this evening. Reporting for TISL News, I'm Lindsay Pierce. See you this evening.